9, and mine is 4/12.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to move to Hoboken?
You're April 12th, and he's a Libra?
Right.
Yeah, well, you really need a lot of space, because if you all are, under each other's feet too much, you all can butt heads. So he doesn't do too well in retirement. He has to keep busy doing things, or he gets totally bored. If he gets bored, he gets into depression. So that's one thing he's got to watch, is to keep active, even in retirement.
Right.
You understand?
Teach him to do the dishes.
He has to have adventure in his life, So, and you're an adventurous person.
Right.
Also, you like adventure and everything, and I see a lot of travel for both of you.
Well, of course, that's easy to tell they like adventure. They live in North Tampa.
I want to know also, do I have a lucky number?
Yeah. Lucky number for you, I'm just getting 6. Is a lucky number. Yeah, it just came up in red. So 6 is your lucky number.
Okay. Thanks, Ruth.
Okay, honey.
Thank you, Dorothy. Let's go to Diane in East Tampa. Hello, Diane.
Hi, Moose.
Hi there.
Hello, Ruth.
Hello, how are you? I like his handles, Mad Dog, and what else?
Well, I like Moose a lot better.
Moose, yeah.
Anyway, I am a Taurus, April 27th.
Right.
And I would like to know if there's going to be an improvement in my health upcoming.
Something about sugar around you. Do you have either hyperglycemia? Have you been checked for it, or borderline diabetes or something?
I've been checked for diabetes, but I certainly am a sugar junkie.
You are. You have a lot of sugar in your blood. If
just sits home all day long popping bonbons listening to my show. It's terrible.
See, Taurus has that leaning towards diabetes, and sugar can cause depression, and it can cause heart problems. It can cause a myriad of things. So I feel if you can get off that sugar junkie...
I ain't never seen anybody depressed sitting over a pound and a half of Godiva chocolates. Come on, Ruth.
It's the after effects.
It's only because they're all gone. That's when you get depressed. Oh, no, it was the last one.
And Taurus have a craving for chocolate. They do. It's one of the links. But if you get off of it in 2 weeks, you're going to notice a big difference in your health improving. Because it can do, it is addictive. It's like cocaine. It's very difficult to get sugar completely out of our bodies.
Yeah, that and smoking.
And smoking.
Can't handle either one of those.
So both of those are working against you, know. And you can reverse the aging process and get healthy, absolutely. And you should see Bob here. He smokes one cigarette after another, but we just figured he's bored coming in on Saturdays, But if you get off the sugar in the cigarettes, which is difficult to do, it's not easy, and you may need some help doing that.
Yeah, it's like a straitjacket in a rubber room.
I know.
Also, I would like to know if I'm going to have any success with my book.
I'm not seeing a book for you in this year. All right. I think it may take a couple years down the road.
You're writing a book, Diane?
Yeah, I read a lot of people writing books, I'm going to write
What's your book about, Diane?
Multiple personalities.
Multiple personalities.
Very interesting, like All About Eve and something like that. Yeah, I think I see a few blocks there, possibly because it's been done before. And I don't feel it's going to be into the public or interested for a couple of years. So you may have to bypass this year coming up. And not until 89.
Well, it gives you plenty of time to go back and correct the spelling and punctuation.
Right.
Yeah, sharpen all my
I have to tell you what I get. And I would not stamp in concrete everything that I say. I mean, I feel that don't let that limit you. I just tell you what comes through for me. But you are absolutely in control of your life.
Right.
And you can change your destiny also.
Right.
See, very few things in your life are really fated to be, or what I call stamped in concrete.
Absolutely.
Very few things. People that you meet in your life sometimes are fated, but you can absolutely control your whole life.
The only thing that's fated and carved in stone for me is sugar.
That's what I picked up when you first talked, remember? That is
sure, we can still hear her chomping. Come on.
That's your biggest problem, okay? So you can get rid of that, you're going to feel healthier and better. I mean, really try to...
It isn't chocolate, Bob.
Really try to work on it.
Well, what is it, Diane?
Chocolate is not it. I don't even crave chocolate. I wouldn't miss chocolate.
Well, what is it that you munch out on?
Anything else sweet is just not... Well, I won't turn chocolate down.
Pies, cakes, cookies. She won't turn it down.
I won't turn it down, but that's not it. That's not what calls to me.
What calls to you, Diane?
What calls to me? Ice cream, not that much either. Like I don't dare make Christmas cookies because if I do, I'll eat them all.
What else are you going to do with them? Tack them up on the wall?
No, I'm supposed
Of course you're going to eat them. That's what you're supposed to do
make
with them.
for my husband.
Oh, and send Bob a few. Yes, they can munch on them over here.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay.
Be good. Let us go next to Elizabeth in St. Petersburg. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine,
New Year
all
to
things
you.
considered.
Ruth, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
All right.
My husband was born September 15th, 1954.
Okay.
I was born July 21st, 1959.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to move? And also, how are our finances and careers in 88?
Okay, you are the one that basically wants to make the change, and I feel he's very apprehensive about making a change and letting go of security. You know, that the security in the hand.
Uh-huh.
He's not a gambling type person, and all of life is a gamble. Really, it's what you make it. But he is not. He wants that security.
Uh-huh.
You know, so he's going to have a hard time with that, making the change. You feel that a change would be beneficial and better for you.
Not
You're more
really.
well.
I think we both want to stay where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But when is the lease up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, we're having trouble with our house and finances, and it just, we may be losing it, but we want to hold on to it.
Mm-hmm. I just feel that you're going to make a move. Okay, I have to tell you what I get, but I'm just feeling that hard to let go again, hard to let go of the security of that.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's better to sell, liquidate, take your assets, and get into something less expensive that you both can handle. See, he's been going through a very low financial cycle.
Yes, for about 2 years.
2.5 years. It's been Virgos and Pisces, Sagittarius and Geminis. Low financial cycle.
Is that going to pick up for him this year?
That will change in April. There's going to be changes for his sign in April.
Okay.
Okay? Him and Bob. Okay.
All right.
Because I know Bob's got Virgo rising. So it's not a critical change, but it's going to be a slight change
Well, I'll
for
put
the
some salve on
better.
that.
For the better.
For the better.
Okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, honey.
Thanks.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Let us take another break, and we shall return with Ruth Rogers. On the bio here, counsel to top celebrities and politicians. Which top politicians?
I have to tell you? They're real,
Of course you have to tell me.
Well, they're incognito. When I was in Washington years ago, I counseled some of the congressmen, Washington, House representatives. The biggest one.
Don't want to name names.
No, the biggest one I did was Agnew
Agnew.
in Maryland.
Oh.
I told him he was going to be vice president. And I picked every presidential election. And some of the politicians in Washington, you would be surprised how many go to a psychic counselor or
Don't think I would be
astrologer.
at all. No.
Reagan has this astrologer.
I'll
He's
bet he
very,
does.
he really does, and he follows his cycles, you know. But but a lot of them are incognito. He used to come in my office and say, Mr. Smith, and then two of them ran into each other, going, what are you doing here? You know, I had a office near the Watergate, and but I moved out of Washington, came to Florida, and got away from all that.
Lois in Holiday. Hi, Lois.
First-time caller, Robert. Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you, too.
I think you are a terrific talk show host.
Well, thank you. You're obviously a woman of grace and intelligence and good taste.
You got it. To Ruth.
Yeah.
I am from Iowa. Moved to Tampa 5 months ago. Was transferred to a job there. Stayed on the job 3 days. Complete disaster.
When is your birthday?
Pardon?
When is
June 19th.
Okay, so Geminis are into disappointments, changes, and things beyond their control. And, so they're going through a difficult cycle of learning. And everything that's happened to you in this past year has all been a learning process for your spiritual growth. So sometimes you have to let things go to go on to other things. And you're thinking about going back or making another change.
Don't tell you around April in time for spring planting, right?
I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking of making a change.
Yes,
You may not be back at the same spot because you were at a dead end there, but it may be a change, somewhere else.
in my work. I took another job,
Yeah.
and it's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, am I looking there for another job?
Intense and Holiday?
Well, no, I work in Newport Richie.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Does that explain it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, really.
Whoa.
I want to get down to, into like the holiday area.
Now, that's just one step below Newport Richie, right? Yeah.
Well,
you are definitely into a cycle of changes. Now, changes sometimes come along as many until you feel comfortable in it, and you're extremely nervous, so you can't put up with too much around you. Nerves are a problem for you.
Yes, I lost my husband 5 years ago. It's been a complete upheaval in my life for over 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, is this going to turn around, Yeah.
Geminis, your sign, will come out of the cycle in mid-May. So about May 23rd, there are going to be changes that will be up where you'll be feeling more settled. You just have to feel your way until you get into your niche, so to speak. So sometimes we go through cycles of changes, and they're okay. It's just a learning process.
Okay.
Okay?
All righty. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I will be calling you again, Mr. Lassiter.
Thank you. Whereabouts in Iowa, Lois?
Sioux City.
Sioux City, okay. My wife is from Quatsy's.
You are?
No, my wife is.
Oh, good state, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Lovely place. Was just there over Thanksgiving.
5 below zero. No.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
Love
I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you, Lois.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Tanya in St. Petersburg. Hi, Tanya.
I have a question for Ruth.
Okay.
I'm a Cancer, and I recently, about 6 months ago, married a Pisces, and I believe that's a good combination.
It is. It is.
For 1988, I'm wondering about my immediate future, whether there's a new job or a trip in there.
I don't see too much trip with you. I feel there's going to be some blocks to your, traveling.
What kind of block?
But I do feel a job, and I feel the job that you're going to get coming up, and that's within around February. All right, there's going to be
Thank God
an
something's
offer.
going to happen in a month other than April.
There are changes for certain times in April, and depending on your birthday, depends on the day. But February, early part of February, I feel the job is going to be very creative for you, where you're going to use your mind, your head, and that's going to tie you down a little bit.
You mean that's going to interfere with my trip?
I feel some blocks to the trip. It's either going to be financial or you're going to have to be doing something else. And I don't feel anything coming up till the summer, about August. Be able to get away and do what you want to do.
Well, like in a nice trip in June.
Great time to go to Odessa.
Pardon?
June is a good time to go to Odessa.
Odessa? Like when the Soviet Union?
No. Like Odessa in Florida, Odessa. They're the vibes I get.
Oh, I was thinking about going to the Soviet Union in June. For about 2 weeks.
Interesting. And I feel some blocks to that trip. I'm telling you what I get psychically. You can create your own reality.
You mean it's my husband who's going to ruin the trip for me, you think?
I'm just getting some blocks to that trip. And you have to remember what I said,
But your husband a Republican or something? He doesn't want you to go to the Soviet Union?
Well, I don't know what he is as far as Republican or...
What, you married him before you knew how he voted?
I don't think he votes.
Oh, my gosh.
I know he listens to you a lot, Bob.
Well, I think you've made an excellent choice then in that case.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Well, I always figured, you got to take people with their faults,
Whoa! Whoa!
Otherwise, he's a very good person,
Otherwise, he's a very... Whoa!
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard every day you have to come home and listen to what Bob Lassiter had to say,
Why?
Why?
Well, that's what everybody talks about.
Really?
Of course.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's better things to
What?
talk about.
Whoa! Oh! I've never been... Well, once I was so insulted, but...
Well, I'm sure
Not
you've been
recently.
insulted plenty of times.
This is outrageous.
Oh, please. I've heard your show a couple of times. This isn't outrageous at all compared to what goes on some of your shows.
Well, what did you have in mind?
Pardon?
What did you have in mind?
Well, as far as what?
The outrageousness on my show.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to make anything outrageous.
Oh, sure, you're just going to call up, grab some free advice from my guest, and take a couple of cheap shots and run.
Well, I was curious to, as far as, what would I be doing this year?
Odessa. I know it in my heart.
Well, see, when you said Odessa, I first, I
Kind of freaked out, didn't you?
didn't even know there was an Odessa, Florida. It's an Odessa, Texas. But it doesn't seem very exciting to go anywhere in Florida or Texas.
Well, that's for sure. Tanya, I thank you very much.
All righty, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
You have your lecture coming up?
Yes, Monday night. I'm going to be in person at the Ramada Inn in Countryside, that's Clearwater, for the Suncoast Psychic Center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be doing predictions for 1988, and I'll be answering personal questions for people that didn't get through. And they can see me Monday night, so I'll be glad to see everybody on
And the telephone number?
Telephone number is 538-4123. If they want private appointments or anything like that. And I'll be here for about a month doing lectures in Florida.
Ruth Rogers, thank you very much.
Well, glad to be with you, Bob, again. Really. It was very interesting.
My pleasure. Very interesting indeed. Behave yourself. Good luck with your lecture.
Thank
we
you.
still have 2 hours yet to go on a Saturday, the day that we defy you to call the program. We'll probably continue with our own psychic readings into the next 2 hours. So, if you're there, don't feel too bummed out about it. If you're not, you might want to get there. Don't go far. Bye-bye. Okay, we're off to a roaring start here. Jean in Inglewood. Hi there, Jean.
Hi.
Hi!
Congratulations.
Congratulations
this is
on
your
what?
girl from Inglewood.
Didn't know I had one in Inglewood. Congratulations on what, Jean?
Winning all of those battles.
Winning all the battles. Okay.
And I really do love your program.
Okay, congratulations to you too, Jean.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Too bad she didn't ask me what I was congratulating her for. It was for finding the corkscrew. Diane.
Okay, so let me add one more point to the world is full of idiots.
As a matter of fact, by the way, next week I will have a psychic proctologist on Saturday, just for the benefit of the rest of the audience.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it doesn't really matter. Probably a she. Will she be able to predict, like, the grandeur and or the amount of hemorrhoids that an individual is going to receive?
Anything. Finances, love life. All you have to do when you call up next Saturday is hold the phone receiver up to, we'll explain it next Saturday.
Us is in front of Mars, or whether, your anus is too close to the sun.
Well, only when I'm on my belly.
What?
Only when I'm on my belly, but I do try to turn every 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. No pun intended, but no, I need facts. I need to look at both
Would you
sides
take
of
my
the story.
word for a personal story and experience in my life?
Uh-huh.
Would you?
Well, could you be more specific?
Okay. I don't believe in Ruth Rogers. I don't believe in psychics. I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in any of that stuff, okay?
All right.
However, about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, I was running a TV and stereo store in Norfolk, Virginia, selling grossly overpriced TVs and stereos to sailors on time payments.
Okay.
Next door to me was a little shop that sold ceramics. And I and the guy next door got very friendly because neither of us were doing much business, so we spent most of the day eating coffee or drinking coffee and eating hot dogs from the hot dog stand next to him.
Uh-huh.
And he believed in psychics. And there was a well-known Virginia Beach psychic whose name escapes me for the moment, Joyce Talley. That was her name.
Right.
And it was very hip and in to go see Joyce Talley. And my friend and I were talking about it one day, and he said, well, you should go. And I said, hey, man, it's $25 for a half an hour. I find it amusing, but I'm not that amused by it.
Bob.
Wait, hear me out.
Okay.
The phone rang in his store, and his sales assistant came over to my store, and without having any knowledge of what was going on, said to my friend, Joy Talley's office is on the phone. They have a cancellation. Are you interested in it? And he looked at me, and he looked at her, because he was on her cancellation list.
Oh.
And he said, well? And I said, oh, what the hell, sure. And I went and saw Joy Talley. He paid for it, by the way.
Oh, of course.
I wouldn't part with my $25.
No way.
But that's a true story.
Yeah. What would I say?
Coincidence?
I think, it's one of two things. I think that coincidence does exist in our society, okay? I think, coincidence. If you flip a coin, like, you're supposed to get heads and tails every time, but if you get, like, 3 or 4 tails in a row or something like that, hey, coincidence. But look, I think there are a lot of people out there with ulterior motives, i.e., the buck, the big one, that everyone out there likes you. Well, some of the people like you, some of the people don't. We don't. But, I'm not trying to cut down on the compliments for you. Maybe you like them or something. But they're so nauseating. When some lady calls up and says, "Oh, hello, Bob. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love the ground."
Oh, damn.
What happened? Did you fall off your chair?
No, microphone boom came down and hit me on the head.
Are you okay?
Wow, I'm getting a vision.
A vision?
The compliments will cease in April.
Well, frankly, no one had came.
Emily in East Tampa. Hi, Emily. You're on the air, WFLA.
Mr. Lassiter?
Yes, Emily.
What's all this nonsense I keep hearing about sidekick proctologist?
A psychic proctologist, Emily.
Psychic?
A psychic proctologist.
Oh, well, never mind.
Okay. Pete? That's right.
But it again a few minutes later, Robin. And I said, Robin. And finally I said, yes, yes. And the voice said, feed my people. And I'm sitting there going, yes. He said, feed my people.
They were probably spellbound by this point, right?
And I'm going, yes. And he said, make hamburgers. So I went to McDonald's. And they believed him.
Well, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
I know. And after that, I was like...
Good way to shut them up, too.
It did, but they kept coming to me with a lot of their problems and wanting, solutions to a lot of situations they were in their life. And I was just floored because I was rolling laughing. I thought it was so funny.
Had you given them the truth, some type of honest, decent answer or whatever it might have been.
It never works, yeah.
Right, of course, I would have walked away scratching their head saying, oh, weird lady.
Yeah, definitely. But I had to add that. I hope Christian was listening.
Love it. Thank you, Robin.
Happy New Year.
Robin?
You and yours.
Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Did you really hear voices?
No, never.
Oh. I don't blame you for not wanting to tell us about it. Thanks, Robin.
He's probably got grape seeds stuffed up his nose. Buddy, cool it. That's company. I try to keep the chickens quiet so the dogs bark, right?
Yeah, I know. It's a tough life. If it's not one thing, it's something else,
Huh?
If it's not one thing, it's something else.
Of course. Anyhow, to get down to this psychic thing here, I tried to get in here. I would have loved to find out what she had in store, or I would have loved to have her...
I think copies of her book, that's what she had in store.
Let me cover the mouthpiece. Buddy, shut up!
Throw your beer can at him.
Huh?
Throw your beer can at him.
No, I won't do that. It's still full.
Oh, well, chug it and then throw it.
Huh?
Chug it and then throw it.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, I'll throw the frisbee. Well. That will take care of that. Just got him back
didn't seem to me to be a frisbee kind of guy.
Oh, Buddy's not. Bowser just snags it away from me.
Bowser, right?
Bowser and Buddy. You know what about? Remember Sean and I?
Yes, I do.
Neat TV show, right?
Well, it's...
Well, it was kind of neat. I mean, come on now.
Well, just let it go and I remember it.
The trash that's on there now.
Well, just let it go with I remember it.
Okay. I appreciate that, Robert. Anyhow, if you'd like to use the facilities inside or turn the radio on and listen to my voice, because I'm talking live over WFLA right now, Dolores, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Nice to see you. Got some company now, Robert.
Okay.
So anyhow,
well, I understand.
To make a long story short here, I'll let the critters in the house, and we'll just talk to you again. Because just keep it alive out there, Robert.
We look forward to your calls. Thank you, Fred. Betty, we'll just pick the fuzz out of our navel while we're waiting for you.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's him on his knee. I know that's him. Yelling 7, come 11 down in the boys' field. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always hooping in the hall? Who's always throwing spitballs?
Me?
the classroom, cool and slow. Who called the English teacher daddy? Oh, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Little old-time rock and roll never did hurt you, did it?
Too much. You talk about people that you never seen.
Harlow and the St. Pete 5 there with You Talk Too Much. Yep.
Oh, you were.
Oh, hey, you know what I went through last Saturday, man? I'm not going to put up with this stuff anymore.
Cruel and vindictive.
I mean, each Saturday, it's the psychic proctologist next week.
Well, I've seen him before. He's very good, although he does tend to resort to a lot of innuendo.
Well, yes, he does.
Yes, that just comes with the territory, I suppose. He does tend to get to the bottom of things. So.
Many people say that he gets involved in a lot of crap, but I don't know about that.
Well, whatever you do, don't shake hands with him.
What do you think? I'm crazy? I've got my rubber gloves already. What do you think?
Oh, that sounds kinky. I didn't know you were into that.
Well, when I do psychic proctologist, that's what I'm into.
Okay, well, so I didn't listen.
Do you know what I just did during the news break?
Well, I had an idea, but...
No, you have no idea. When I came in this morning and I walked past the coffee area, you have never seen such filth. You have never seen such a mess. I mean, to the point where I didn't even want a cup of coffee, okay?
Yeah.
And so I sat here for 3 hours during my show, hoping against hope that someone would go back there and make a pot of coffee. Of course they didn't. And so during my show, I went back and I personally cleaned the coffee area. I washed out 2 pots with a little brush. I wiped down the counter, threw away all of the trash, neatened up, and as I'm doing it, it suddenly dawns on me, why is this area looking like a pig pen? And voila, there it is. The cleaning people. They didn't want the cleaning people to have to come in on a holiday. I mean, these people have family and feelings. And on a holiday, I mean, come on, after all we've gotten here is Lassiter. Why straighten the place up for him?
Well, do you do windows?
I'm afraid they're going to ask me to do windows next.
Well, if you get good at them, you can come over to my boat. The portholes are a mess.
And there's a memo in my mailbox downstairs from Handy asking me if I, object to heights. Well, what can I say?
She must think Wonder Bread is a very exotic food.
Well, would you like another true story?
I'd love one.
This morning, Ruth lost her wallet. She can't remember where she put it. I'm serious. I'm not making that up. In Seffner, hi, Peter. You're on the air, WFLA.
Richard Shanks, what's happening, brother? Hey, Richard?
Yes, excuse me.
Yes, Peter.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, I was just walking on some coals.
Oh.
Would you like to buy some pills?
Did I find what now?
Would you like to buy some pills?
Well, yeah, the arthritis has been acting up a little bit.
I'd recommend the purple ones for that.
The purple ones?
The purple ones.
Oh, man, you can really fly with them things.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
Give you goosebumps for days.
You what?
They'll give you goosebumps for days.
Do you know what the plural is for octopus?
What the what is?
What the plural is for octopus?
Oh, you silly man. I can't have conversations like that on the radio.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me call Lassiter and see if he can come up with it.
I'll bet he could.
Have a good day.
Be good, Peter.
Okay.
Oh, wasn't that exciting?
Harlow in St. Peter. Harlow, what are you doing on the phone?
Yes, I heard you say my name 4 or 5 times today. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, Harlow, I think you're going to be... Well, let's not use that word, Harlow. I think you're going to be the new in-caller for 1988.
No. Did I hear you say Mary's a Cancer and a moonchild like I am? I'm a July 3rd. I guess we're the same month.
Mary is July the 2nd.
Oh, my gosh, a day before me and a couple of years younger. So much younger.
Much younger.
Yes, I'd say about 20-something years younger.
Much younger, Harlow.
Yes, 20-something years younger. I wonder, you wouldn't have anyone could a phenologist that could read bumps over the radio. I guess that would be sort of hard to do on the radio, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know, Harlow. It's all how you want to look at it.
Years ago, I had one of those handwriting things with a computer about 20-something years ago when they first came out in the 5 and 10 in New York. And it said I was going to be rich. What a liar that thing was.
Son of a gun.
Yeah,
you just can't trust in anything anymore, you know, Harlow?
Terrible handwriting things. I mean, they don't tell the truth at all. They ran it for the computing machine and
so you don't have any money, Harlow?
Wonderful things.
You don't have any money?
Maybe I'll become a chandler.
Harlow, you don't have any money?
No. Oh, my gosh, no. I'll have to get a pair of dark glasses and get a cup and walk around maybe in St. Petersburg. I've never seen anyone do that. You know, I was so embarrassed a couple of days ago. Two down-out gentlemen walked over, and I thought they were going to ask me for money. They said, where can they get free coffee and food? I felt awful. I mean, that's terrible. They must have thought I was down and out myself.
Well, yeah, that's what you get for standing in line at the Helping Hands mission.
No, I told them where they can go to the free clinic and the other thing and the other place.
What, a couple of guys come up to you and ask for help and you tell them where to go?
Well, they asked me where they can get...
What kind of a scumbag are you, Harlow?
I didn't have any coffee on me or donuts. Listen, they asked for coffee and donuts, and I told them where they can go to get it. Listen, it wasn't very far from where I was standing.
Uh-huh. What are you doing hanging out in that neighborhood, Harlow?
Well, I was tippy-toeing down. I happen to be... It's on... The place I recommended them is on 9th Street and 3rd Avenue.
Wait, tippy-toeing down?
Well, it's sort of gliding down the street.
Kind of tripping the light fantastic?
Right. Coming from downtown St. Petersburg, the big city part.
Mm-hmm.
And there they were. But I don't know. I have all these strange experiences. I don't know.
What were you doing in downtown?
How
did you know it was downtown for openers?
I always go downtown.
You always go downtown?
Sure.
Downtown.
I'm a very short distance from downtown. In fact, I'm just 1 block away from downtown.
1 block away from downtown. Well, Harlow, you certainly are keeping our stereotype alive here.
Right.
What do you do when you go downtown, St.
Well, I go to the different thrift shops and look around.
The different thrift shops?
There's no garage sales during the week, you know. I know that's one of your favorite topics about garage sales. I know you love them.
Well, no, I don't actually, Harlow. But I did used to sucker people in at the other station when I had to work Saturday mornings to call up and tell them about their garage sales.
You'd be surprised who you meet at the garage sales. You better be careful because someone grabs the stuff right out of your hair when you're looking at it.
Oh, life is full of disappointments, isn't it, Harlow?
Terrible. I went to one yesterday. The little old lady grabbed something out of my hand. I don't know. I think she was going to step on my feet.
Whoa.
Oh, I have these terrible, terrible things happen.
I should have goosed her, Harlow.
Right.
That way, should have thrown up her hands and dropped everything, and then you could have scooped up the stuff again and run away.
And I left. Some friend of mine in New York mailed me some of the old company magazines from the company I used to work for in New York before I left it. And my gosh, a couple of faces are still left after 14 years that I recognize.
Holy moly.
Oh, gosh.
Where'd you used to work, Harlow?
In New York on 40th Street, right near the main public library.
Oh.
I used to walk down to... you mentioned in 1960 that you were on 34th Street. Was that hotel off 5th Avenue?
I can't remember. Wherever the 34th Street, Sloan House, I think is what the YMCA was called then.
I'm trying to remember. Were you very far from the Empire State Building? That's on 34th.
No, it was only maybe 2-3 blocks max.
Oh, I think I know where that was. Because I used to work around that section. I used to always take my lunch. In fact, in 1960, I was working in that district. I used to walk down to Macy's and Gimbel's at lunchtime. And at that time, I think Saks 34th was still... I think that's before Corvette took over.
Son of a gun.
You wouldn't remember all those... actually, you only stood a very short... You were 15, I think you mentioned, so you weren't that too late. I think you had only a day you mentioned.
Well, it was just a couple of days, yeah.
A couple of days. But I guess you must have... Did you walk down to Rockefeller Center? Because they always had a Christmas... You mentioned it was about Christmas time.
That's right. It was Christmas time.
And did you see the Rockefeller Center Christmas? They always have a different one, but I mean...
I've seen it many times.
How different be every year?
Many, many times.
Oh, yeah, I used to watch... Did you watch them ice skate?
Yes, only in the winter, though.
Yeah, well, it was winter when you were there, you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there. In fact, I lived in Miami Beach when I was a kid in the 40s.
They
talk about the school system. They had a wonderful school in Miami Beach. I'm a graduate of the elementary school there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty good before you were born, 2 years before you were born, 43 to 45. Well, actually, you were born in 45.
Yes, I was, toward the end.
They were very strict. They gave you a 2-hour final test in every subject at the end of the term in public school.
Holy God.
Oh, they were strict then. I don't know about now about the schools, but they talk about the educational system. It was beautiful Miami Beach then. But,
well, everything was beautiful in Miami Beach then.
I went to Central Beach Elementary, then I went to Idaho.
Did you say Central Beach Elementary?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, you know what Miami Beach High is?
No. I know what a Miami Beach High is, but I don't know where Miami Beach High is.
You were in Miami proper. Do you remember there was a big... You don't know where the vocational high school was in Miami proper? It was in an old hotel that was taken over. It was a flop during the Depression and became... It was quite a tall building, and they had a... Part of it was the Miami Vocational High. Well, I didn't go to that when I was too young. But I'm trying... Do you remember the Rickenbacker Causeway? Well, you were there many years later. There was the MacArthur Causeway and the Rickenbacker Causeway to connect to Miami Beach from Miami proper.
They're still there, Harlow.
Yes, no. I don't think they fell into the water.
Not yet.
No. But that's, 43 to 45 we lived there.
Son of a gun.
Boy, I remember they used to have, Friday night, the kids and I, we'd all go to the movies. And they used to have
Friday night,
because
Miami
they had,
Beach?
Oh, my gosh, they used to, on Lincoln Road, they had the servicemen lined up for blocks to get into the movie. We kids had a hard time going to the movies then. Terrible. I'm telling you my whole life story practically. My gosh.
I know, and we're only up to 1945.
Oh, I thought I was a baby, but I had scarlet fever, and everyone rushed out of the hospital. I was a kid. Everyone screamed and ran out of the hospital. Oh, scarlet fever. I wonder if I survived.
I don't know, Harlow.
I have to pinch myself to see if I'm alive. Yes, I'm alive.
Just find it strange that a man would have worked all of his life and scrimped and saved so that he could, move to St. Petersburg and roam around aimlessly in downtown St. Pete. It's a sad story, Harlow. It's one of the saddest stories I've ever heard in my entire life.
I should play my kazoo. I think I'll get it out and play Hearts and Flowers.
Okay, Harlow, why don't you go to the bureau and get that kazoo, and we will all... And the snow is falling. That's not Hearts and Flowers, Harlow. Harlow, that isn't Hearts and Flowers. I mean, now you've challenged me.
I'm telling you, that's
Hold on
a
there,
sad
Harlow.
piece.
Okay, let me see if it's in tune. Yes, Hearts and Flowers, Harlow, goes this way.
That's what I was playing. Maybe your kazoo is tuned different than mine. Maybe mine is in the key of C.
You're trying to tell me, Harlow, that that's what you were playing? Harlow.
Yes?
Hearts and Flowers is not a march.
Maybe I have different rhythm than you have on the expression. My bounce is a little different. Because of my bronchitis, maybe it's a little different.
Got to slow down, a little more feeling, Harlow. Listen again. You're not listening, Harlow.
Oh, I'm listening, but I guess I have a different... I'm tone deaf, partially, probably. I can never play anything but a kazoo. No harmonica, no sweet potato, no flute, no violin, no piano.
No more time, Harlow.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
By the way, next Thursday, if you still have your calendar out, you may want to mark this down. Next Thursday, Harlow will cover the years 1946, 1947, and 1948 as he continues the 54-part series, Harlow, My World. Problem?
Is the day open phone?
Oh, sure, Mike.
Okay. I caught my son, 18-year-old son, and his girlfriend in the front room of my house having sex.
Oh, my goodness.
What would you do?
Well,
Then I'll tell you what I'd do.
Is she a good-looking girl?
Yes, she is.
Well, I would have probably thrown a bucket of ice water on them.
You know, what I did, it was awful quiet in there. They cut off the TV and they had the lights out. So I thought my son had carried his girlfriend home, Mm-hmm. And what I did...
Carried her home? What, is she paraplegic or something?
Huh?
What, is she a paraplegic?
No.
What do you mean carried her home?
No, I thought he carried home in the car.
Oh.
And what I did, I went out, cut on the light. Both of them got out of the blanket. I thought you're using a signal scramble.
Under the blanket?
Yeah, they were laying on the floor.
What, are they shy?
Under the blanket.
What, are they shy?
I don't know.
Is your living room drafty?
What I did, my son said, Dad, going back to bed. So I cut off the light, went on back to bed. I didn't know what to do, What would you suggest me doing in that situation
I'd throw,
like that?
a pail of ice water on them. That'll teach the little buggers.
No, but we didn't know what to do. Do you think I did the right thing? Just cut it off, and went back to bed and fussed at him the next day? Instead of embarrassed both of them?
Yes, Mike, I do.
You
I
think
really
so?
think you did the right thing.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll make sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. 990-9352, he said reluctantly in Hillsborough. That's 990-WFLA.
Since he's a gifted student, and he helps around the house. And
In Clearwater.
Oh.
Did I hear you playing the kazoo a minute ago?
Yes, I'm a well-known kazoo player.
Yeah, no, listen to you all the time. Well, we had some cats, or we did, and they died
Uh-huh.
of a mysterious disease.
Yeah.
And, well, I used to like to kind of listen to your show. And I was wondering if maybe since they're dead, if I told you their names, you could play taps on the kazoo for them.
Well, I could try.
Oh, you could do it, Bob. I've heard your kazoo playing. I've got it recorded.
What are the names of the cats?
Okay, there's several cats. The first one's name was Dead Cletus. That was his name.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's name was Hawkmo. Third one was Stucky. Fourth one was Oriental. Then Pooh, Tiger, and Beast. And they all died.
Does that make it all better, Herb?
Yeah, appreciate it, Bob.
Very much, although I didn't get a chance to call in.
Oh, pity.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Norma says some of my callers are gullible. Ain't that the truth?
I've got somewhat of a similar problem. I understand next Saturday, you're going to have a doctor psychic on?
Yes, a psychic proctologist.
Let me ask you. Maybe you can give me some advice here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got these. I don't know how to say this in a delicate way, but kind of sores maybe on my private parts. Is that...
Sores on your private parts. Well, that's pretty delicate. Yeah.
Okay. You know, very delicate. Kind of sensitive too.
Mm-hmm.
Will this doctor be able to do a diagnosis over the radio, or will it have to be one of those embarrassing office visits?
Well, no, it'll be right over the radio.
So I won't have to come in or anything?
No, you don't have to come in.
Will he be able to, like, give me a prescription or something?
Well, no, he'll just tell you about your love life and your finances and your health.
But what about the sores?
My guess would be that he's going to tell you that, you better clean up your love life.
But what about the sores? I mean, is he going to be able to tell me what to do about them?
Well, last time he was on, there was a gentleman, as I recall, that called up with a problem very similar to yours, and he suggested that he soak his private parts in a bucket of coal oil.
And what?
Coal oil.
What is that supposed to do?
Clean up the sores, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. Bob, is this going to be the same individual? Is this the same doctor?
Yes, the same doctor.
Noontime Saturday?
Noon on Saturday. Dr. Zork, the psychic proctologist.
Dr. Zork. Okay, let me write this down. Where does he practice?
On a phone booth.
Oh, geez. Bob, are you sure about this person?
Well, hey, it's the best I could get on short notice.
Okay, Bob, I'm going to kind of put my private parts in your hands.
Well, I'd rather that you didn't.
Well, I mean...
Put them in Dr. Zork's hands.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Zork would probably like that. Okay.
Well, my goodness, if my eyes don't deceive me, we have a celebrity on the line here. Jacob in Clearwater. Jacob, I didn't expect to hear from you.
Bob.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine.
Oh, okay, this is the new Jacob.
The new Jacob?
Yeah. I was, apparently I lost a few months of my life there. I was deprogrammed and, well...
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not a Christian by any means and never was. Apparently I was hypnotized and drugged for several months, and I guess I got on your radio here and ranted and raved.
But Jacob, I don't understand. What about Irma?
Oh, no, Irma's gone. I've got 3 or 4 new girlfriends.
Irma is gone, and you have 3 or 4. Can't you keep count, Jacob?
Bob, I've been so busy. Wish I could have called you before, but got a lot of living to make up for.
A lot of living to make up for?
You know what I mean.
Well, what about Irma?
Nah, she's still off in some church or some kind of crap like that.
Well, Jacob, could you clear up something for us?
Sure.
The demon that attacked Irma.
Yes, Bob?
Want to tell us what really happened that night, Jacob?
You hit it the nail right on the head.
It was you, wasn't it, Jacob? You
Yes,
forced
it was.
yourself on Irma.
Yeah, uh-huh. I couldn't believe you got it right, Bob.
Did you ever tell Irma that it wasn't really a demon?
No, I've been too busy.
But, Jacob, she sounded like a sweet young woman. I don't you think you ought to come clean with her?
Yeah, maybe one of these days. But right now, Bob, I'm living.
You're living? Well, tell us about it, Jake.
Oh, I got a drink in one hand right now, cigarette in the other.
A drink? What? What are you drinking?
Bacardi rum.
Bacardi rum?
Yeah.
Straight?
Yeah. Well,
Well, Jacob, what happened to make this transformation?
By the way, I'm looking for some marijuana, too. Well, I was, my parents had someone take me away from these people, and I went through a couple heavy psychiatric sessions and, deprogrammed, I guess it's called.
Well, this is an incredible story, Jacob.
A metamorphosis, maybe?
Just an incredible story. Well, what about, all the statuary in the living room?
Gone, Bob. Broken.
Broken?
Yeah.
What about the Bible, the big Bible on the coffee table?
Gone.
Gone?
Yeah, it accidentally fell into the trash can. Aw.
Jacob, are you serious?
Yeah. Bob, would I kid you?
But, Irma, where is Irma?
I don't know, Bob. I changed my phone number.
I mean, you didn't even say goodbye to her?
No.
Hasn't she come over to the house?
No, not at all. I had.
Aren't you concerned about her feelings? About being rejected? I mean, she devoted her entire life to you, Jacob.
No, I don't think so, Bob.
You don't think so?
No, I think, if I do anything, I'll kidnap her and deprogram her.
Is she worth it?
I don't know, Bob. I'm having too good a time, I'll tell you.
Jacob, I'm just stunned. Absolutely stunned.
Oh, really? Well, I thought I'd call you one last time here.
Well, hey, good luck in your new life, Jake.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Don't drink too much. And don't drive when you're drinking either, please.
Oh, that's right, yeah, okay.
Okay, well, hey, be good.
See you, Bob.
Bye, Jake.
Bye.
Isn't that a strange twist?
I'll tell you, I'm a serious kind of person.
It's not what he said at all.
I kind of doubt that.
I think the words flake and weirdo came up in the conversation.
Flake and weirdo.
Yeah.